to open the 50th year anniversary of the Kibbie Dome with a win. Can continue to extend our home winning streak, and I think all those things are really, really positive. I know there's some plays we want back. I know that we've got to do a lot better job in terms of playing cleaner football, but I'm excited that we were able to get out of there with a win. St. Thomas was a group that I knew was going to continue to fight. They're a very well coached team and they play really, really hard. But I'm really glad to see our kids continue to fight till the end and outlast these guys today. So I'll kind of open it up to you guys for questions, and you guys fire away.
Questions for players? You guys, we have a microphone as well.
Yeah, Joshua, you looked way more comfortable today compared to last week. Only 33 yards last week, but today was 20 for 25, 281 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then a rushing touchdown. How'd you feel today? What made you feel more comfortable?
I felt great. What made me feel more comfortable was just with Coach Linehan's play calling, my O-line protecting me, and my receivers doing their job, making plays and getting open. And my running backs, they started it with the run and opened it up from there on.
Joshua and Dylan, I'll ask you this too in a minute. What does it mean for you to play a big part in helping Coach Ford get his first win?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Ford's an amazing coach. We have an unbelievable culture here, guys that show up every day to grind, and that's exactly what he's done in his life, in his coaching career too. So every game day we try to just portray that and play with the utmost effort for him.
Just showing up every day, like Dylan said, competing, working hard at practice. Coach Ford, he runs a great system here, and just being able to go out, play for each other, and, big thing that we always say is just do your job. You do your job, and everything will come around, and we'll have a great game.
And Joshua, for you on the long touchdown run, what did it feel like?
It felt amazing, just being able to see open field. My guy Swanee, he was able to, set a great block on the corner and be able to let me get the edge. And once I got the edge and saw a green field, it was over from then on.
So Josh, to take it from the first play of scrimmage, throw an interception, and then have your game just build up enough to lead to that moment, that 59-yard score. I mean, what was that like mentally to take that pick and reset, regroup, keep going, especially when the game was a little bit so back and forth early on?
Just being able to go through adversity is with my teammates, the coaching staff, everyone's behind me. And they let me know that after the pick, everyone told me, keep your head up next play and just move on from it. And that's what I did.
And Dylan, for you, this St. Thomas team has shown a lot of heart, a lot of fight. You were able to do a lot and wreak havoc on the defensive end. What did you see out of your game that was able to really get rolling?
Well, anytime you have a lot of tackles, it means you played a lot of plays. So we got to do a better job on defense, getting off the field, limit explosives. Starts with me, and we're going to hit the film hard tomorrow and correct the mistakes.
Joshua, can you just take us through your mindset there heading into the fourth quarter? You guys had stalled out on several drives there in the third. Did you kind of put it on yourself at that point to, go and win this game for your offense and for your team?
No, it's never on myself. We're always a team, and everyone's all together. My O-line did their job. Block gave me a great protection. Receivers did their job, and, running back did their job as well to protect. And being able to just get the ball out and get it to our receivers, let them make plays. It was a great job overall by the offense and great play calling by Coach Linehan.
And then Dylan, for you, what's it like playing next to Ice? I mean, he, knocks the fumble out. He has that big sack when they had a chance to, go take the lead there late. What's it like playing alongside him, and what did you make of him today?
Yeah, in the locker room we call him a gamer, man. I mean, he goes out there and he makes plays. It's kind of hard to describe. He's just kind of got that aura about him. He's a quiet, calm kid in the facility, and then you get on that field and you see a whole different monster. So it's a blessing to play next to him. One of my best friends too. So.
Yeah, Dylan, last week you guys only allowed 3 rushing yards, but today you allowed 214. Why do you think the defense struggled a little bit when allowing explosive plays and rushing?
Well, first of all, shout out to St. Thomas, man. Very well-coached program. They do a lot of things, a lot of shifts, a lot of motions offensively. And they got a lot of guys who do their job. They're very disciplined. So they caught us out of gaps at times. They caught us with our eyes, our eye discipline, and we got to be better. So no excuses on my end. We got to get back and fix it. So.
How difficult was it to play in that sauna this afternoon?
Well, Coach Cooper and his staff do a great job getting us in shape. So I know I felt it a little bit, but I think we responded very well. We played 4 quarters of high effort, high intensity football. So I was proud of our guys for that.
Joshua, last week, only 33 passing yards. This week, you had 3 different receivers had 5 catches or more from you. What is it like having that many guys in the receiving room? That was, kind of a question mark coming into the season that, you have that security blanket. You can look to a few different guys in your offense.
Guys in our receiver room, they stepped up. Last year, they didn't really get the playing time that they really wanted to, or they had a certain role. And this year, everyone makes plays in that receiver room. And me just being able to get the ball in the right spot, get the ball to them so then they can go and make plays because they are playmakers. And so just being able to get them to the ball and let them go make plays, that's all I need to do. Love you, Coach.
All right, what you guys got?
We'll open up questions for Coach.
Coach, only 33 passing yards. Obviously, it's been talked about last week. This week, you open up the game with the shot down the field. During practice this week, how much did you guys emphasize getting Joshua comfortable early and often in the game after a rough passing game first week in Pullman last week?
Yeah, it was definitely a big emphasis for us this week to get Joshua going. Wanted to get him in a rhythm early. We obviously opened up with the shot down the field, and he threw an interception. And the great part about that kid is that it didn't really matter. Right at the end of the day, it was one play, and he did not let one play define him. And I thought he did a phenomenal job the rest of the way. And again, that was definitely our emphasis this week, just trying to make him feel more comfortable with concepts he feels he's ran a lot and has a lot of experience and comfort with. And I think it paid off today for sure.
Your reaction to the penalties, it seemed like a very tightly officiated game. Just your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at some of them. I never want to put anything on the officials because, in my opinion, if you have better technique or you have right eyes, you probably don't have those penalties. And then we had some, after the play penalties again, and that's something that we've got to get cleaned up in a hurry. In a lot of ways, I believe my team overlooked this group. I think they saw a team that, maybe doesn't have as fast of players as we played a week ago or as big of players as we played a week ago. But as you know, in Division I college football, it doesn't matter what you did last week. So I think this was a great learning lesson for my club. And I'm glad that we were able to come out on the winning side while learning this lesson.
Win number 1 for you. How does it feel?
Honestly, I haven't even had time to think about it. It feels great, right? They don't say they don't count how, or I guess they don't ask how. They ask how many, and so we've got 1, and I think it's a huge step in the right direction. You got to get 1 before 2, and obviously you got to get 2 before 3. So being able to pick up the first win is huge, just in the regards of it's the first one of hopefully many. Oh, it was awesome. This place is a very special place to play football, and I've been very aware of that since coming to games as a spectator. So to see that, student section rocking, see the band rolling, and obviously all of our supporters on the home side was very, very exciting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing even more people next week.
And of course, having a very different opponent than Washington State, but seeing the offense just get that much more productive and that much work on both sides. I mean, how do you feel that maturity of the team, the growth of the team has changed in just week 1 and week 2?
I still don't think we're a very mature team. Like that's an area we got to improve in a hurry. We cannot get in personal battles, and I think that happened a couple times last week, and it happened a couple times this week. But to see the group really rally, stay together, and then obviously make a huge strides on offense was definitely encouraging. We're a group that really prides on ourselves on just being the best we can day by day, and we were good enough today, but we got to be a lot better tomorrow and moving forward.
Coach, you talked about last Saturday the penalties hurting you in Pullman, and then today,
Yep.
and wanting to clean it up. And
Yep.
then today, obviously, 13 for 104 looks
Yeah, it's awful.
crazy.
Yeah, it's not good.
I guess, what are you noticing between the lines? Because all camp, we saw your team. It's not an undisciplined football
No.
team. Is it a football IQ thing? Is it that immaturity? What are you seeing out there?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think we do have some young players, that are playing in significant roles, and so this is the first time they're doing this. And so I think you do see a little bit of immaturity there. Now, some of the penalties, holding penalties, pass interference penalties, you hate those penalties. They're judgment calls, but those to me aren't stupid penalties. Those are guys playing really hard and, they not getting the call to go their way. But we've really got to limit the self-inflicted penalties, false starts, personal fouls, because those are things we can actually control. And I don't believe those are, penalties that are caused from effort, right? Those are things that we've got to really look intrinsically this week and see how we can do a better job to clean that stuff up.
And then from your vantage point, that play where Joshua broke out and, ran 20 yards the opposite way and then threw across his body to Emmerson, seeing him make a play like that, and then later the 59-yard run where no one touched him, having a player like that who can lead your team, I guess, how much does that open up your offense and what Coach Linehan can do with him when he makes plays like that?
Yeah, it's huge. Whenever you have a quarterback that can do it, throwing the ball and running the ball, I think it causes the defense a lot of struggle, especially just preparing. You've got to have a bunch of calls to stop the pass. You got to have some calls to stop the quarterback from running. And then we've got 3 running backs that can, have 100 yards at any moment. So I definitely think having a guy that's as dynamic as him, both running and throwing, is going to help us all, all throughout the season, the rest of the way.
Offensively, obviously a better performance today than last week. You guys are spreading the ball out a lot more. What do you think really unlocked the offense today?
I think it was a lot of just taking what they gave us. If they were going to play in soft zone coverage all day, we were going to throw speed outs all day. They never really adjusted to that. So I thought it was really the opportunity to get Josh in a rhythm, get him feeling comfortable. We call them layups, right? It's like a layup. We were trying to get him some layups early, and I really think that helped develop his confidence the rest of the way. And obviously you were able to see his arm strength to get the ball down the field too. So definitely something that we want to continue to do is just take what the defense gives us, but that's certainly what they gave us tonight.
What about comments on the defense, their performance today, where St. Thomas was really kind of in the game for most of the quarters?
Yeah.
What do you think about the performance from the defense, and how do you think could get better?
Well, there's a number of ways, but without looking at the tape, I couldn't tell you the specifics, but just in general, we've got to do a better job with our eyes. I thought there were times where guys were trying to make a play that really shouldn't be their play. They weren't maintaining gap integrity, and then all of a sudden the quarterback squirting out for a gain. Now, credit to St. Thomas. I thought they had a really good plan. They had, 12 and 13 personnel, creating extra gaps, and they definitely, posed some issues for us defensively. But I think overall we've just got to be more disciplined, and we just got to do our job.
Win number 1, how are you celebrating?
Honestly, I just want to go watch the film, but I know we'll enjoy it. It's the 24-hour rule either way. You got 24 hours to revel in a victory, defeat, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, we still got 10 more regular season games that are guaranteed, and so we'll enjoy it tonight. We'll get after that tape tomorrow, and then we'll move on starting Monday.
Coach, coming into this season, Emmerson was kind of a guy that you looked at to be a reliable returner in a receiving room where, second straight year for Idaho where they're replacing 2 really talented receivers from the year prior. How big was his performance here tonight?
It was huge. We know Emmerson to be a guy that can be in that same mold of players. The great ones like Hayden Hatton and Jermaine Jackson, obviously Jordan Dwyer. We kind of saw what he's still doing for TCU the other night. And Mark Hamper was great for us as well. But I think Emerson's in that same mold. I think Tony Harsty's in that same mold of guys that can really perform at an all-conference level in this league. And then the big, I don't want to say big surprise, but the kind of small surprise was Ryan Giziaro, right? Ryan is a guy that's a redshirt freshman. We knew he was really talented, but he just hadn't had a lot of experience. And I think, he's getting a ton of that over these first 2 weeks for sure.
So there's 5.5 minutes left in the game. You guys are about midfield, and Nate jumps for a false start. I was just curious during that, was that was that intentional?
No.
To get a little more
No.
spacing for the punt?
No, not in any way, shape, or form. I don't know if we would have went for it, but on the 4th down play, you mean? Yeah, I mean, we were going to go for it. We're definitely going for it. That was not a planned thing. I know Nate is a great player, and my guess is he played well, but I know him, and that's all he's going to think about until tomorrow is that false start. So, but not planned or intentional at all.
Coach, we saw Emmerson was out for most of the second half with, ice on his shoulder. Eli missed some time tonight. How are you guys health-wise after this game?
Outside of Emerson, I think we're in pretty good shape. We'll see the severity of that shoulder injury, but I think he did a great job fighting through for as long as he could, but he just got to a point where it was just a little bit too tight. And really with Eli, it was more of a protection thing. He had suffered a injury last week, and he just got banged on it, and we just felt like it's game 2, right? And we have Art Williams and Nate Thomas, who are excellent backs as well. No reason to force feed our bell cow tonight in a game like today.
I was wondering if you could take us through the conversation at the end of the third quarter, that long break. I was wondering what the conversation between you and Coach Linehan and Joshua were to take that shot first play of the fourth quarter and kind of start with shock and awe, maybe catch them sleeping a little bit.
And that was that was our thought process. We had ran the football and the beginning of the series, I think 6 times. And so we were just trying to kind of figure out a way to get a shot. How can we dial up a shot? And Coach Linehan's doing a heck of a job, and I think he did a really nice job picking the right one. And so credit to him. He's now in his second full game calling it. And I also think you're seeing the maturation process of Coach Linehan as well. He, I think, called it a lot more loose today. And that's kind of what I told him. I said, hey, man, all those plays on the call sheet are great, man. You just get the rhythm. And I felt like he really found the rhythm tonight. Awesome. You guys are the best. V's up.